Hello friends, welcome again. Friends, in today's video lecture, we are going to discuss existentialism in English literature. Friends, if I ask you a question, what is the meaning of your life? I am sure most of us will not be able to answer this question because we people living in the times of science and technology, we have forgotten the real meaning of life. Existentialism is a modern movement which became very popular during the 20th century in English literature. This movement expresses the human existence as it is. It focuses mainly on the individual experiences, individual freedom and individual choice. Mainly, when literature deals with these four questions which are very important, you have to decide that this literature is existentialist literature. Mainly, existentialist literature deals with these things. Who am I? मैं कौन हूँ? From where did I come? मैं कहाँ से आया हूँ? कहाँ पर जाने वाला हूँ? और ये मेरी ज़िंदगी का मतलब क्या है? If all these things are discussed primarily in the works of art in literature, friends, you can decide that this literature is the literature of existentialism. So, as I told you, such literature mainly discusses or presents the main idea or the philosophy that I am I because of my own actions, because of my own thinking. I am responsible for my own life, for my any situations, for my any conditions. Let me show you these things. As you can see in the picture, the world is meaningless. All meaning is man-made. ये लोग मानते हैं, those who believe in existentialism, ये लोग मानते हैं कि जिंदगी का इस दुनिया का कोई मतलब नहीं है और जो भी कुछ मतलब हमने निकाले हैं they are man-made meanings. Okay, so actually it is meaningless, right? So every person, every individual makes his or her own understanding and meaning of this life, of this universe, of this world. Okay, it is your understanding, you take it life in this way. It is my understanding, I take life in this my own another way. Okay, so meaning depends and meaning differs from person to person, right? Religion, politics, education, marriage system, these are the labels, which are imposed by we people to make this life meaningful. Otherwise, originally, basically, there is no meaning of this world, of this life. Okay, as I told you, this movement of existentialism began in the mid 19th century, then slowly and gradually it became very popular towards the end of the 19th century. But friends, when you read the 20th century literature, you see that this existentialism reaches its peak, its height of success in all sorts of like drama, poetry, novel, everywhere you find existentialist literature. Now, what is this existentialism? Let's try to discuss this in detail. As I told you, it's a modern movement. It is a movement of philosophy and then it entered into literature. Mainly, this philosophy defines man in a different manner. Here, every man has his own meaning of life. This world or this life is irrational, okay, and it is meaningless, but it is the individual duty of an individual person to understand this world and life, to fetch out the main meaning of life in his or her own manner. As I told you earlier, we talk of religion, like हम मानते हैं कि धर्म हमें इस दुनिया का मतलब समझाते हैं, लेकिन these people, existentialists, these writers, they believe that religion, politics, marriage system, education, all these different branches of knowledge, they are nothing but labels given to life, okay, to make it meaningful. Otherwise, there is no meaning of human existence. These existentialists believe that it is our own responsibility to give meaning to this meaningless life, okay, and it focuses on the question of human existence and the feeling that there is no meaning of this life. This philosophy holds the idea that there is no God in this world, or there is no any other agency or force which controls your life, right? The only way to counter, the only way to fight against the oddities of life is you have to accept it as it is, right? Say for example, in your life you have pain, you have agony, you have sadness, but it is not God who is going to help you, it is you only who is going to help you out of all your situation. Man is born and hence he has to live his life until death. आपका जन्म हुआ है तो आपको जीना है, अंत तक जीना है, कैसे भी करके जीना है. This kind of surviving your existence against all the oddities of life, obstacles of life, is known as existentialism. Existentialism in literature has some common features. As you can see on the screen, this movement believes in sincerity and authenticity. That means, sincerely you have to accept life and you have to make it authentic and meaningful, and that all depends upon you. Another thing is that the central idea of this movement is that existence precedes essence. So existence is more important than essence, right? It means that the most important consideration for individuals is that they are individuals. You are not labels, you are not performing roles. You are not a father, you are not a brother, you are not a sister, you are not a student or teacher. We have to live as we are. Okay? This world is meaningless until we label the world forcefully. Right? So, meaninglessness of life is the important feature which is expressed by the authors in such literature. These writers, existentialist writers, they focus more on personal or subjective, or you can say individual experiences and beliefs, right? So like we do not talk about in existentialism, the writers do not talk about general or broad meaning of life. What I understand, what are my experiences about in a particular situation, that is, so subjectivity is presented in existentialist literature. Subjectivity means personal approach, okay. Existentialists also express the personal feelings such as guilt, pain, agony, love, regret, all such personal experiences of the characters, they are beautifully presented by the authors in such literature. Now friends, a question does come to our mind: who are the major authors who believe in existentialism? Then remember Albert Camus, Jean-Paul Sartre. These are the two French writers, okay, Friedrich Nietzsche, who is a German philosopher and writer, and Samuel Beckett, who is an Irish author. They are the greatest exponents of existentialism in their own writings. If you read the literature, you will find existentialism in their literature. Now the question is, which are the important examples of this kind of literature? Then as you can see on the screen, Samuel Beckett has written Waiting for Godot, right? Jean-Paul Sartre's No Exit, and Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. Harold Pinter also wrote The Birthday Party, and Albert Camus has written The Stranger. All these are the best examples of existentialist kind of literature. So friends, here we come to the end of this discussion on existentialism. In my next video, we will discuss post-structuralism. But if you have really loved this video, please share this among your friends and classmates so that they also can be benefited. Thank you very much.